What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts,
What
Spider.
did I click on?
I am
They
joined
recommended this show to me.
by Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am infinitely awesome. Thank you for asking. How are you, sir?
I'm doing incredible. I am.
Uh-oh. Do your thing.
I mean, it's just been a good weekend. I'll say it like that. It's been a good weekend for me. I'm mostly excited because, and it has nothing to do with the show, but Spider-Man, the video game, has been re-released to PC. It's one of my favorite video games of all time. And so I'm happy to be able to be playing it again. So I'm excited about that. I've been putting a lot of hours into it yesterday just to go through the story again, just because it's a great game. It's one of those games where normally I don't really care for open world games because my brain gets overloaded with too many side missions. I remember I tried playing The Witcher, and it was just traveling across the countryside, like just about everybody that you meet while you're going through the game. I was like, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? And it's like,
You tell
I don't
your
know.
ass no.
I mean, you could, but I like helping people. I mean, I have no problem with helping people, but I think for like, and I tried it with The Witcher. I tried it with Dragon Age Inquisition. I think the method of travel, before you get a fast travel, and then in some games you have fast travel, and fast travel like costs materials, and then you gotta like replenish those before you can fast travel. I think for those, New World was another one of them. Amazon Games was a PC like a open world game called New World. And I think it's just the method of traveling for me was not very captivating. But and again, for me, because we can have listeners that are probably a fan of these games and they love it and they love everything about them. And if that's you, then more power to you. It's just for me, being able to swing through New York City as Spider-Man, that's more enjoyable for me. Like Spider-Man has a fast travel mode where you can just catch a subway and get from one part of the city to the other. But for me, I enjoy swinging the city. And that part of it makes the numerous side missions and all of the different things, all of the collectibles and stuff that you got to pick up, it makes it more enjoyable for me to be able to go do that stuff. Because I started playing the story, I got like maybe 3 story missions in, and then I just started swinging around the city getting collectibles and doing like the little crimes that pop up and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know, it's something that I thoroughly enjoy. And then on top of that, the story of the game is great too. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the story again. And it's, I've played it 3 times on PlayStation 4, and now it's on PC, and so I'm playing it again, and I'm probably gonna play it like 2 or 3 times just to make sure I get all the achievements and everything on PC. And then Spider-Man Miles Morales is what's coming to PC in fall. So gonna jump on that too. But I mean, it's a great game, so I've been excited about that. Been doing that this weekend, having a lot of fun with it. But again, like I said, this has nothing to do with All Things Super. But I don't know. It's just what I've been
Hey,
enjoying this weekend.
that was how your weekend was. I did ask how was. Yeah, I think I asked about this.
You asked me how I was, so I was telling you how
That's
I told you
that's
how
more
I
important
was
to me.
and why I was that way.
And I thought I was long-winded. It's okay. I
Oh,
enjoyed
dude,
all of
you
it.
don't even know. I can ramble my ass off. I can ramble and talk about something for hours on end. If it's something that I truly enjoy, I'm not going to shut up about it, which is why I love doing this show, because we're talking about things that we enjoy, things that we love, a
Right?
genre that we love. And if you don't know what All Things Super is, basically every week we come and we deliver these episodes to you, our adoring viewers and listeners. And we take movies, TV shows, even trailers, whether they're super powered, whether they're following a superhero story, or just whether they're action packed, or even sometimes a little horror field. But we take these pieces of cinema, we review it, we break it down, we talk about it, and we ask the question: is it super? And so we got to try to find that out. But if you like that, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes coming out. Or you can find us on podcast streaming services, wherever you find your favorite podcast. And if you want to join in the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod. But
It has never been a conversation that we haven't been scared to have.
that is
Just
very
want to
true.
put that little disclaimer out there.
That is very true. Come at us with your opinions. We will discuss them.
So in this episode, we're going to be reviewing the infamous.
Is it infamous?
Well,
Is it infamous?
it's the number one movie.
Yeah, but that's not
So
necessarily what that's not what infamous means.
no, it's not. I agree with that. That's not what infamous means, but maybe it's not infamous.
I don't think it's infamous.
But we're not here to answer if it's infamous. We're here to answer if it's super.
True.
Is
True.
it super? Is it super infamous?
Is it super infamous? I think you have to be infamous first before you could be super infamous.
That is sounding like a requirement right now. I have no.
I don't know. But this week, this episode, we're going to be talking about Bullet Train. Like Mr. VIP said, it is the number one movie in theaters at this point. Starring Brad Pitt, starring Brian Tyree Henry, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aren't these guys infamous?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Brad Pitt's not infamous?
No, I mean, infamous is mean that you're known for bad things. I feel like Brad Pitt has probably had more.
Brad Pitt is known for dating some of the baddest women in Hollywood.
That's true. That's true.
Gang. That's a list that not everybody on. I'm just saying. Put that out there.
That is also true. But yes,
come in the comment section. Come on.
Tell us about the baddest women in Hollywood that you've dated.
You ain't going up against Brad Pitt list.
No, you're not.
That's like going up against Drake list.
True. That is very true. That is very true. Not a lot of people can compete with that. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Bullet Train. Here to talk about Bullet Train. I knew that there were going to be a lot of like different, I'll say different named actors and actresses in the movie. Because I don't want to say like they're A-list because some of them aren't necessarily considered A-list, but people that you know, people that you've seen in a lot of different movies.
It's an A-list movie, dude.
I'm just saying a lot of the actors aren't necessarily considered A-list.
Who say this?
I'm just because of the types of movies that they've been in.
What defines an A-list movie?
A-list movie is one that comes from, because you all right, so you're telling me that Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's played in Kick-Ass, who's played in Godzilla, who's played in Quicksilver. So you're saying that his cameo parts, and the only, I'm not going to say the only movie, but his, you know him as a leading role in Kick-Ass. So you're saying he's on the same level of Brad Pitt. Because Brad Pitt has been revered as an A-list actor. So you're saying that Aaron Taylor Johnson is on the same level as Brad Pitt?
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
But both of them are in this movie.
I am saying that both of them.
One movie in theaters.
I am saying that both of them are in the movie.
Wouldn't they be A-listers now?
No, just because you're in an A-list movie doesn't make you an A-list actor.
What makes you an A-list actor?
An A-list actor means that you've had a leading role in movies that have been nominated for Academy Awards. You've been nominated for Academy Awards. That puts you up in that.
So
at least in my opinion.
Even a nomination makes you an A-lister.
I would say multiple nominations makes you an A-lister. It doesn't necessarily have, I would say a nomination because Leonardo DiCaprio, I would say, is an A-list actor. He went a long time before he won an Academy Award. But that didn't stop him from being an A-list actor. He starred in a lot of A-list films.
The trophy don't mean shit.
Being nominated for the trophy does.
So it's more important to be nominated than to win?
No, I'm not saying that it's more important, but I'm saying that if you've been nominated for 17 Academy Awards for Best Leading Role, Best Supporting Role.
Clearly I'm doing something wrong.
Right, clearly. No, not necessarily that you're clearly doing something wrong.
But I can't win.
But because I mean, you take a look at there has been a lot of directors, there have been a lot of actors who are constantly nominated for Academy Award for their roles in different movies, but they didn't win because of some movie that came out. It was sometimes it might be some foreign film that the Academy deemed to be a better film than the film that that actor was portraying or playing a role in. So it's not necessarily a fault of the actor themselves, but just what the Academy felt was a better performance. And I mean, you always get like people saying for the longest time, people saying that Leonardo DiCaprio was being robbed because they felt that his performance in whatever movie that he did was better than whatever performance won for Best Actor. So it's not necessarily the actor's fault. The actor could be performing the role of their life. But if the Academy felt like, oh well, this foreign film, this French spoken film that a lot of people
About the rolls that's in the water that hit the sunlight just right, and then the ice cube that wasn't in the frame melts across the table. That's a good one. You should see that one. It's over after that. It's a foreign indie film. It says so much. So much is said in a short. It's like a short. See it? It's a rose in the. Never mind, because you're giving me that look like you haven't seen it. Clearly, you haven't seen it.
clearly I
It's
haven't.
beautiful. It's like a tear when the ice comes across. Anyway, finish your story because try to recommend stuff to these guys.
Bullet Train. So what I was saying was that I realized that there were going to be a lot of different actors in this movie, a lot of different named actors, people that we were, fairly familiar with. But I didn't know there were still other cameos that showed up in the film that I wasn't expecting. So, excuse me, God, that was coming for so
Bless
long.
you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, I was trying to get that out. But no, it was a surprise to have those other cameos in the movie that I wasn't aware of. So it was clearly that was fun little surprises that are sprinkled out throughout the movie. But before we get into talking about Bullet Train, we gotta hit him with the horn because we gotta let him know. Spoiler warning. We're getting into full spoilers talking about Bullet
I don't
Train.
know how to not spoil it.
You can't talk about the movie and not spoil it, other than only talking about the trailer. Because I mean, the trailer basically says that you have all of these people on this train. It's a Japanese bullet train, so of course it's going fast. That really doesn't have too much to do with it.
Not a
Partially
lot
it
at all,
does.
really. Well,
There's very little to do with it.
could they have gotten the same destination on a regular train?
Yes, they could have, but I think the dilemma of being able to get, and we already gave you the spoiler warning, so don't come after me and say, "Oh, Spider spoiling some stuff." Uh, but the dilemma of
Like
them being able to
Ireland.
get off the train because they gave the like the preface that we only
Instructions.
stop, yeah, we stop at the station, we stop for 1 minute, and then doors close and we take off again. So the dilemma of them being able to get off the train, or the negotiations that they had when they stepped off the train, if they were at on a regular train service that wasn't a bullet train, then they wouldn't be able to have that sense of urgency. Oh, I need to get this done quick before the train takes off. Or we need to hurry up and
Right.
get back on the train. Or I only
Right.
have this much time to get off the train if I'm going to get off the train. So that's where the bullet train part of it came in. Other than that, it was just they were on a
A
train.
train.
Right.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. But I don't
Seems
know,
like you're
just
not impressed by this logic.
I mean
Was
it's
there more that you wanted them to do off the train?
no. I have no problem with the train, but I understand that the name of the movie is Bullet Train. So I didn't going into it, I didn't know how much the train was going to take a factor into everything that was going on. But no, initial thoughts of the movie. The movie was good. It's very
I mean, it's Brad Pitt.
it
How
is
could it
Brad
not
Pitt.
be good?
It,
I mean,
I mean, everybody has bad movies. Just because an actor is in it doesn't mean that the movie's good. I
so you just go keep it real on this show. Okay, I see
I
what we're going
look,
through.
I'm gonna keep it real every single
Okay.
episode, every single week, because that's what I do.
Oh, okay. See
But
what's going on here.
what I was afraid of going into this movie is because it's an ensemble film, right? So you have all of these different actors that were all highlighted in the trailer. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
situation of that it's not following just one particular person. Everybody, maybe not equal parts, but everybody has a significant part in the film. Everybody has their role to play. They have their part of the story that they're contributing to. So it's not just, oh, I'm passing down the street, like in Uncharted. Okay, so Tom Holland and the girl that played not Nadine. I can't forget the other woman's name, but they wash up on the
And
beach.
I can't remember.
They wash up on the beach and they pass up Nolan North, who's the voice actor for Nathan Drake in the Uncharted video games. That's a cameo. That's a person who doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the story. Like he's not significant to the driving plot of the story in that movie. But you have all of these different
Okay.
people. Like we said, we have Brian Tyree Henry, we have Aaron Taylor Johnson, we have Michael Shannon, we have Zazie Beats, we
Zazie
have
Beetz.
we have Bad Bunny.
All A-list actors.
Bad
Almost
Bunny
done.
is not an A-list actor. I'll tell you that right now.
I tell you, to ask the women if he is an A-list actor.
How many movies can you say that Bad Bunny has been in?
Bullet Train.
Mm-hmm.
With Brad Pitt.
Okay.
It's a hole in one. Your first movie, you want Brad Pitt, a world-renowned A-list actor. Is that not a flex? I don't want to know what Spider be talking about out here in these streets, man. This is
Let us
crazy.
know in the comments below if you think Bad Bunny is an A-list actor.
Did you not see him howl with the wolf? Did he not sound like a wolf?
Let you know that I didn't get picked up on your microphone.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued for sounding like Bad Bunny anyway.
Oh my god. You're gonna get DMCA'd because you howled the same way that Bad Bunny howled in the movie?
Not today. My microphone cut out.
Oh my god. Oh, but anyway, what I'm just saying is that I was afraid because you have so many people, they have so many parts of this story. I was afraid that it was going to get convoluted. And there were some parts that were a little bit confusing, but it's one of those non-sequential films where we're constantly getting flashbacks to things that happened that we didn't get to see when they happened chronologically in the movie. So at the end of the movie, of course, everything comes together. Um and the way that it came together was wacky, but then at the same time it was kind of ingenious. So
Mm.
I don't know. Overall, like I say, I would say that I enjoyed it. It took me for a ride. So I had to invest in it. I had to make sure that I couldn't. When I first started watching it, and it was just like going kind of back and forth, flashing back to different scenes and everything like that. Especially when we are introduced to the twins, Lemon and Tangerine. Going back to everything that they did, it was a mixture of action and comedy. The banter was pretty funny. I thought there were some jokes that lasted a little bit too long. Some of the gags that lasted a little bit too long.
Like
Um,
what?
like when, and again, spoilers. When
I hit the horn like six times.
I
I
know.
don't know what they want. If they're
Uh,
this far in the video,
I mean
it's
they
more
should know.
on you than
But
it is on us.
I'm just making it known. I don't want no complaints
Hey,
about spoilers in the
hey.
comments.
He spoiled it after he said he was going to spoil it.
Exactly. But when Ladybug, who's Brad Pitt's character, was fighting God, what was Zazie Beats' character's name? She was I can't remember her character, but basically she was the one that was going around poisoning everything. When they were
Mhm.
fighting in
True
the
villain of the
bar,
show.
was she the true villain? But when they were fighting in the bar, and
He
so
murdered a whole family at a wedding. What do you mean?
yeah,
This was
I mean,
like Game of Thrones shit.
yeah,
She
but
poisoned.
the twins also murdered a whole group of people too. Would you say they were the true villains?
No, because they were only getting their money and delivering the kid back.
No, but what I'm saying is that she murdered a whole family. That was in a different time than what was going on in a bullet train. Just like at the same
Right.
time, Lemon and
She's a
Tangerine
villain.
murdered a whole bunch of people outside of
That
the
was
trains.
before. Yeah, that was before.
But so was the wedding. So how can she
No,
be a
she's
villain but they not be a villain?
listen. Benito was coming for the wrong person. He should have been coming for Zazie. But we didn't know that because that was a twist.
Well, so all right. So before we even get to that, you were asking me about which gags that I think that ran on a little bit too long. So
Okay.
when they were at the bar and they were when Ladybug and Zazie Beetz Brad Pitt and Zazie Beetz were fighting, and she stabbed him with the poison. He took it out. He stabbed
Mm-hmm.
her. So it was basically just like a stalemate. It's like I know you have antidote on you, so there's 30 seconds before
Very,
this poison kicks in.
very intelligently done.
Right. And so she pulls out the antidote. He takes her arm, jabs it into himself before she can jab it in herself. And so she starts dying. Now, the time that it took for her to actually die. So she fell down, she sort of had a conversation with
Oh
with Brad
yeah,
Pitt, and then she starts
yeah.
crawling and she's crawling and she's crawling. I don't know where she's crawling to. She
She
picks
was
up a
giving you.
can of something. She goes to open it to start to drink it. The amount of time that it took for her to die, it just went on a little bit too
I
long.
loved it. She was giving me all that scary Terry vibe. She was like, "What
Uh,
you think, bitch?" I
but
was like,
that's
"That's scary."
it's just some stuff like that. Just went on a little bit too long for my liking.
Oh
It was
man. Oh
the
man.
premise of it was funny, but I felt like about
You just didn't want to see Zazie
two and a
Beetz
half
die.
beats.
Let's just say that.
I mean, I just felt like why did it take so long for her to die? Because it seemed like everybody else got injected with it. They were just dead immediately.
The screenwriters know what they were doing on this one. You don't kill Zazie Beetz off on any franchise.
Well, she's dead in this one, so
God damn, you want to do?
I'm just saying.
She was good though. She was good. Like she murdered a family. She's the bad guy, dude. Like at a wedding. Like, come on, man.
I'm not saying that she's not a bad guy, but I'm just saying how can you call her a bad guy but not call Lemon and Tangerine bad guy?
I didn't say they're not, but she's the villain of the train. She was coming for what
I
was she
don't
coming
think
for?
anybody was the villain of the train. I think they were all had their own separate motivations. They were all called there to do a job, and they all were trying to do that job to the best of their abilities.
Who hired Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt was there as a mistake because Carver was supposed to be there. Carver called in sick, so he had to go and fill in for him.
Played by the great
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
I don't know why. I don't know
A-list
why.
actors.
I'm not
I
saying
don't
that
know what you want, dude.
I am not saying that everybody in this movie was not an A-list actor. I'm saying a lot of the people in this movie were not A-list actors. That's what I'm saying.
Ryan Reynolds is not an A-list actor.
It didn't say that Ryan Reynolds was not a Ryan Reynolds is an A-list actor. Michael Shannon is an A-list actor. Sandra Bullock is an A-list actor.
Channing Tatum is not an A-list actor. I'm trying to see where the problem lies, man. Who's not an A-list actor in here?
Do I have a list of every single actor that was in the movie and tell you who I think is an A-list actor, who's not an A-list actor?
Wow. Wow. No, because I don't want all that hate that's gonna. Maybe I'm not ready for it in the comment section. No, no, just they're A-list actors, man.
Okay. All right. They're A-list actors. We'll leave it at that.
Oh wow! Now he's upset.
I'm not upset, but I feel like we can't move on because you don't want to admit that everybody in this movie is not an A-list actor.
This is horrible, man. Who hurt you?
Nobody hurt me. I am speaking to the Hollywood hierarchy of actors. The the roles that are offered to Brad Pitt are not going to be the same roles that are offered to Channing Tatum.
There is no such thing as a small role.
Did I say that? Did I say that? I didn't say
It
anything
doesn't
about a small role
matter.
because
It's about the actor that kills the role, right? You just said that yourself.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that I didn't say that there was a small role. There are cameos. There are cameo parts in the movie. Ryan Reynolds did a cameo part in this movie the same way Brad Pitt did a cameo part in Deadpool 2. I'm not
Deadpool
saying that
type
they're
of
not.
friends I
I
need.
I am not saying that they're. I'm not saying that everyone in this movie is an A-list actor or is not an A-list actor. I'm saying that there are some A-list actors. There are some who are not A-list actors. I'm not talking about the size of the role, but I'm saying that because Brad Pitt is at a different level in his acting career than Channing Tatum, the roles that are offered to Brad Pitt are not going to be the same roles that are offered to Channing Tatum. I'm not talking about the roles that they would audition for. I'm saying that when you get to a certain level, some roles are offered to you because movie studios, directors, producers, they have a certain actor in mind. So they'll go to that actor first. So I'm saying that
Mm-hmm.
for a person like Brad Pitt, the roles that are offered to him are not going to be the same roles that are offered to Channing Tatum. They're not the same roles that are going to be offered to Aaron Taylor Johnson because they are not on the same level as Brad Pitt. And so that
Mm.
means that Brad Pitt is
I
considered an
dis
A-list
I
actor.
disagree. I think Channing Tatum and Aaron Taylor Johnson will get those opportunities if Brad Pitt doesn't want them.
I think that for
There's your
the
hierarchy right
I
there.
but still, a A-list actor
But
means that you will be the first person called, not the third or fourth.
I think Channing Tatum phone stayed busy. So is Aaron Taylor Johnson. Isn't he about to do the
I'm not saying
Craven
that their
movie?
I am not saying that their phones don't stay busy. What I'm saying is that the roles that will be offered to Brad Pitt are not the same roles that are being offered as a primary actor. When they look at this role and they look at this film and say, I think Brad Pitt would be great for this. In that same conversation, you won't have somebody else saying in that same conversation was like, no, I don't think Brad Pitt would be great. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson would be great for this. They're not in the same conversation.
Ooh, this conversation getting steamy.
You're saying that what I'm saying is crazy. You're making it seem like
I
everything that
am
I'm
not
saying is
saying what you're
crazy.
saying is crazy at all. I'm saying what you're saying is the views and opinions of Spider
Ben said these are my opinions,
Incorporated.
and I say that anyone who in the comments, you can let me know if you think Aaron Taylor Johnson is an A-list actor. Please let me know. You can state so in the comments. You disagree with me?
Ooh,
I am
yes,
very
all
more than welcoming to anyone who disagrees with
that's
my opinions.
that's not smoke. That's a forest fire right there. I don't want to. You
Obviously,
remember
Mr.
plant?
VIP disagrees with my opinions.
I need Planet Tina to come put this fire out. Hey man, listen, we're talking about Bullet Train with a bunch of A-list actors that can't get the recognition that they deserve. But
Hmm?
it starts off very simple. You have Brad Pitt playing Ladybug, hitman or assassin coming out of retirement,
Retriever.
coming back into the. Well, his first assignment was retrieving, coming back, but he's done other stuff. This is why he doesn't want the gun because he's trying to turn over a new leaf. In fact, this whole movie is heavily played about luck. Everything is
Right.
luck. They lean on the premise of luck a lot, and as crazy as it sounds, some of it fits, some of it works, some of it doesn't, and some of it is appreciated. But they play on the storyline of luck, and it's enjoyable. It's
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable, but it's so funny because the end result, as they go to the end, and I'm again spoil it for you, it goes to show you how what Brad Pitt perceives as luck actually had a whole cascade of events that led up to it. I appreciated that because from his perspective, he just thought he was very unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, he was very lucky for the things that happened. Like he should have been dead. So I appreciate them doing that in the story. I mean, the story was a story, and I appreciate the story. We talk about story so much here on the show, and they did what I think is a good job of the story. I mean, it all happens on a train, and like you were saying earlier, there's a reason why you have to do what you need to do to get off or get on because this bullet train is gone. And once it's gone, it's gone. It's going to start to increase and it starts moving lightning fast, or not lightning fast, but at least faster than a normal train.
Right.
And then we seen Aaron Taylor Johnson almost miss it.
Mm-hmm.
which he didn't want to miss his brother, which, the dynamic of how they became brothers was funny as well. Um, to make sure that he caught the train and broke into the train and had to get back inside the train, where we have stakes that's bigger than the train, but all capsulated on the train.
Right.
So we have this case of money. Where does this money come from? They were hired to go retrieve this kid because he was wilding out. Kid gets poisoned. He dies. Like, whoa, what do you do now? Because you're supposed to deliver this kid unharmed and he's dead, and you know who you're dealing with, which is somebody that
Like
you don't want to deal with,
White Death.
which in the story makes sense for itself. It gives you in a short amount of time, they was able to flush out backstories. So you can understand who this person was and what their motivation was, why they were doing what they were doing. How they all knew about this one train and how they all got to the one train.
Hmm.
That's the interesting part. But again, you got Brad Pitt that's not even supposed to be there. He was just filling in because Freddie Rules called off.
Right.
So it was interesting to see how all of it came together. I can see how it's the number one movie. It's something different. It's concise enough to hold a story, almost like Rick and Morty style, right? Almost it's like every car you went into, he was trying to do something, but they still had things that was going on, and they filled in your B story, your B storyline with backstories. You got to see the twins and the stuff that they've done. You got to see Benito and what he did and how he's there and why he's there. And he was already an assassin type of killer too. He got out the game kind of John Wick style. He met a woman, wanted to get married and settle down. Then his whole family and friends were murdered at his wedding. He
So
just not. He didn't drink the wine because he got wine spilled on his. If he would have drank the wine, he would have died too.
right. So here's my question regarding that. He gets on the train. First person he sees is Ladybug. Does he, and I guess this is one of the parts that I was kind of unclear on, does he consider Ladybug being as partly responsible? Because I don't think, because Brad Pitt was there at the wedding. Brad Pitt
Right,
was dressed as a server. I don't think we ever
right.
got the explanation as to why he was there, what he was there to retrieve, because he was still playing that retriever, that asset retrieval type person. I don't think he was there to kill anyone, but Zazie Beetz' character, who I remember now was called the Hornet, she poisoned a cake where everyone was eating the cake, everyone got sick, everyone died. Well, the wine. It was the wine
The
because
wine.
yeah, because the wolf didn't drink the wine because he got it spilled on him. So did he, because we saw that when he got the envelope, because he wanted to find out who was responsible for killing his love, killing his family, killing his friends. He got the envelope. We find that the envelope contained two pictures of the Hornet. So what was his motivation for fighting Ladybug as soon as he got on the train?
Rage.
Okay.
Remember that ingredient that we always talk about, that movie magic, that just kind of logic, your suspicion, your disbelief, you're suspending your disbelief. Get some of that dust in your face. There's some of
Okay.
that.
So it's
Some of
just
that pixie dust.
I can't try to rationalize why he just wants to
Hey
attack the
man, we're
first person
just
that he
we're just
saw.
here to have a good time, man. We're
Okay.
just trying to have a good time. Are you here for the ride or are you not here for the ride? It's a bullet train.
I
It's
didn't buy
not
a ticket,
going
so
normal.
I didn't buy a ticket to the train. So Masioka is trying to get me off the train because I didn't have a ticket.
You know what? I think it encapsulated everything that they could do possibly with a train. He was on the side of the train. At some point, was he on the top of the train? I don't remember if
He
that
was just
happened or
on
not.
the back of the train and then broke a window to get
Yeah.
in.
And then a train crash. I mean, think what's the Denzel Washington movie that he did with the train?
Taking a Pelham 123.
There you go. There's only so much stuff you could do on a train. It's just, it is what it is. You're going fast or you're
Right.
going slow. This situation, you needed to go fast. Gotcha. So we got killers on the train. We established that they're killers because they
Mm-hmm.
killed a lot of people. Everyone's killing a lot of people. Then you have this little girl that's, well, she's not a little girl, but I think she was ideally known to be playing a little girl, which, though she had power, because you've seen that she had someone there at the hospital to assassinate, I forget the gentleman's name, his son, because he was coming on a train. Because we start with his story, we're
Right.
following him. It's not even necessarily about Brad Pitt at this point in time. He's coming to. He's already been shown to be irrational, fly off the deep end, right? And then he's on this train to try to kill this young lady
Who he
because
doesn't know it's a young lady. He just knows that whoever pushed his son off the roof is on the train. Because he just gets a note said, I know who killed your son. Meet me on the train." Gave the seat.
exactly. So he hesitated, thinking that, seeing that there's a young girl,
Mm-hmm.
and she actually uses his own shortcomings against him, saying there would have been no way I could have pushed your son off the roof if you would have been a proper father
Right.
and had eyes on your son. So clearly, she had the research. She's with the resources behind,
Very
even knowing the
intelligent young woman.
hospital.
Very
It,
intelligent, very
and
resourceful.
and her motivations to do this was why again?
Because she wanted to kill White Death. She wanted to kill her father because she was jealous because the son, who was a screw up, who was a jackass, who was basically getting all kind of trouble and getting bailed out, was getting more attention from her father than she was. So she felt jealousy. So she wanted to be able to get back at her entire family. And the only way that she felt that she could do that was to manipulate this person who was, I would say, a low level gang member, but within the White Death's empire, he was still a part of that. So she was going to use him, blackmail him because his son was now in a coma after she pushed him off the roof. And she was threatening him that she had someone watching his son. And if you don't do what I'm going to tell you to do, if I don't answer this phone, or if, they don't hear from me after so much time, then they're going to kill your son. So I basically have you in my hand to do whatever it is that I want you to do. You're going to take
Which
this
is to kill her
gun.
father.
Right. And you're
Mm-hmm.
going to take this gun because the White Death has a habit, sort of a,
Killing
what
their attempted
right.
assassins with their own
Anyone who
weapons.
attempts to kill me, I'm going to, because I already know that I'm going to beat you. You're not going to be able to kill me. So whatever weapon that you attempt to kill me with, I am going to kill you with it. And so she reprogrammed this gun to blow up in whoever's hand who opts to shoot it. So yeah, so that was her motivation.
They did a great job of identifying what that gun was. They
Mm-hmm.
put a trinket on it so the audience could follow along and know exactly what's going on with that
True.
weapon.
Right.
We understand his motivations. Um, I don't know if her motivations were as strong as anyone else's, but again, if she's playing a kid but been around the lifestyle that she would have been around, it's not that far fetched that say she can manipulate some type of scheme like this.
Yeah,
Clearly,
and I
she
think
feels as though she could potentially run her own underworld,
yeah,
which again, we're talking about shitty characters, villains, or this is not a story of heroes. You're again, Ladybug is a hitman, is a contract killer. He's trying to be reformed, which is why he's not picking up any guns. He's not trying to use any guns. It's not to say that he can't use guns. In fact, if they do a sequel and he starts to use guns, I think we're going to see like a John Wick type of situation where he's probably deadly with guns.
I can't, even if they were to do a sequel, I don't, for one, I don't think they would do a sequel because I feel like you would have to make it, the whole premise of it just as kind of convoluted as this one was. I don't know if that will work a second time.
You don't
Um,
want to see more Tangerine? Oh, sorry, Lemon. You don't want to see more Lemon?
no, I mean, Lemon is let Lemon go off and do his own thing. I don't know.
Oh,
because
so
I
you
feel
want to
like
spin
I
off?
feel like no, I don't want to spin off. I'm just saying I don't feel like a story about Lemon would be as good since Tangerine's not
Bitter?
there. It would be sour. It would be sour. It wouldn't be bitter. It would be more sour. But no, I feel like a sequel isn't necessary because you would have to introduce a whole new cast of characters because just everyone else besides Lemon and Ladybug are dead, and well, and the elder and his son, they're alive too. But I mean, it would take like a whole thing to try to bring them back together to bring them back in it. But I mean, I feel like a sequel isn't necessary. But
The number
having
one movie in theaters, man.
yeah, but just because it's a number one movie in theaters doesn't mean that a sequel is going to do as well.
They're already thinking sequel.
Are
What
they?
more they can? They're gonna put Brad Pitt in Snowpiercer.
No. But regardless, the movie to me it reminded me of another movie that came out like in 2000, 2010
Here we go.
called Smoking Aces.
Here we
And what they
go.
did, they followed this story as well.
Phenomenal
But
movie, by the way.
yeah, it's a great movie, and that's what I'm saying. It just because it was an ensemble
Ryan
movie,
Reynolds was in that.
Ryan Reynolds was in that as well. But you had Ryan Reynolds, you had Alicia Keys, you had Common, you had Chris Pine was in the movie, and
Taraji.
Taraji P Henson was in it as well. And they're all assassins. Well, most of them are assassins. You have a couple of federal agents who are supposed to be protecting Jeremy Piven, who is this snitch who
Let me
is
ask you
about to go
this
to
question:
trial. Mm-hmm.
Is this an A-list actor movie?
What, Smoking Aces? No, no, because like I told you, it's not about the entire cast. It's about
This is
some of the
about Brad
people.
Pitt.
You had Brad Pitt wasn't in Smoking Aces. See, this is
That's
why
what,
this
that's
is why
what
we can't move on from it. This is why we can't move on from it.
I'm done. I'm done.
But another thing is just because, like I said, because just because a movie is popular doesn't mean that you have to have a sequel. Because there was a Smoking Aces 2, which did not do nearly as well as the first Smoking Aces.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know
Exactly.
there was a Smoking Nexus too. I wouldn't
Exactly.
have watched that if the same people wasn't in it, and a lot of people got killed. So I agree
Yes.
with you. They would never have done that if Brad Pitt was in it, or maybe they just did in Bullet Train.
I'm done. I'm done. So when it comes to Smoking Aces, but basically what I was saying is that Smoking, it reminded me of Smoking Aces. Basically, you have this ensemble movie where you bring all of these different people together in this one central location because they all have different stories. They all have different routes and journeys that they've taken to get to this one place. And then it seems like everything is just so disjointed. It's like everybody's here. It's like, but you came from, you came from this area in Mexico. You've come from this area. You've come from this area. You've come from this area. What is bringing you all together? And then when we finally get the reveal and we see that the White Death is behind all of it, and because of the death of his wife, all of these people that he holds responsible for the death of his wife, all of them now have to die. So I'm going to bring you all into this area, give you all sort of this same common goal to make you all kill each other, and then whoever's left I'll take care of. And we get to the end, and
Makes sense.
so he thinks because he hasn't seen any of them, he just knows that I know all of these people have been a part of this. Now, except for the wolf, because he wasn't trying to kill the wolf. The wolf was on the train because the wolf wanted to kill the hornet. And the prince, she was on the train because she was trying to kill the White Death. Like he even told her when he had the opportunity to kill her, but he wasn't trying to kill her because he told her you were never even part of the plan, and then he let her live. And so we can see that this is not a person who is just out to kill people. He wants his vengeance, but only on people who were responsible for the death of his wife. And so we get this whole explanation as to how everyone was involved at the end. And it ties it up really nicely until we get to the part where we figure out why Brad Pitt is there. And Brad Pitt wasn't supposed to be there because he was supposed to kill Carver, because Carver was the one that drove the car that got his wife into the accident. So then we get the reveal as Carver is Ryan Reynolds and all this other kind of stuff. And so it's a funny comedic ending to kind of tie it all up, which ultimately ends to the death of White Death because he ends up using the gun to try to shoot Ladybug, and then ends up blowing his own face off. But again, like you said, it goes back into that luck. Like this whole series of events from the moment we see Ladybug introduced, and he's about to step off the curb, and he steps into the puddle of water. He avoids getting hit by this truck. Okay, so we see he's going through all of these situations. He bumps into the guy in the subway station. He loses his ticket. He loses his key. He has the gun in the lock. He doesn't take the gun. He gets on the train. He ends up, getting accosted because he doesn't have his ticket. So he has to try to avoid the conductor. And it's just all of these series of events that kind of pick up, and then it's like at the end of the movie you all see it come together. It's a good way to tell a story, but I feel like that way of telling a story might not be for.
So here's the question.
Yes, this is the question.
Is it super?
I would say, in my opinion, I would say that yes, this movie is super, because what I enjoy about it is because and again, my opinion, my sole opinion, the views and opinions of Spider do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. But in my opinion, I enjoyed the mixture of action and comedy. The fight scenes were beautifully choreographed. All of the different surprises. We see Lemon get shot. We think Lemon is dead. Lemon has the bulletproof vest on, which was, again, alluded to before earlier in the movie. And that was a good callback. And we think Lemon is dead, but Lemon was just passed out because he drank some water. That, again, another callback. We see Ladybug pour the sleeping powder into the water, which was another callback from when he was in the locker and getting all the stuff out, and his handler was on the phone with him. She said, "Don't bring the powder," and she was like, "You're bringing the powder."
Yeah, because he's known for
right. He's known for overdosing people and then end up killing them. So he poured it in the water. We think, well, did he mess up the measurements again? And now is Lemon dead? Anyway, but it's just all of these different callbacks and all of the payoffs that they have coming into the end.
How about this? How about this for a callback when he says, "I'm wearing my vest unless I get shot in the neck," and his brother gets shot in the neck.
Exactly. Beautifully done, beautifully scripted. And after seeing everything that happens, it makes me want to, even though they kind of alluded to, even when we were introduced to a new character or we're introduced to a new situation as to how it ties into the rest of the story, I would like to go back and see it again, and just like for a second time, because now I know everything, and see if I can pick up on other little things that I may have missed.
Are you saying that Bullet Train has a rewatchable factor?
I do think that it has a rewatchable factor. I think any movie that has I say convoluted, but it's not convoluted in a negative sense. It's not confusing, but it's just the movie is choosing to reveal different things at later points. Like I said, out of sequence as the movie is going along. So when you have a movie or you have any type of media that chooses to explain things that have happened way later than that they've occurred in the story, I think it begs to go back to watch it again to see if there are any other little different things that you may have missed in the first watching. So yes, I would say that Bullet Train has a rewatchability.
Like clues, yes, like Easter eggs, clues, different things of that nature. Interesting.
In my opinion, yes, Bullet Train is super. I will watch it again. What say you, Mr. VIP Frankie Washington?
I say, hear ye, I declare that this movie is officially super. Yes, it's super. Why isn't it super? It has a bunch of A-list and other A-list actors inside of it, bringing their good skills to the silver screen. It's chock full of good bits. There's comedy in comedic areas. I don't feel like they lean too much on the comedy. I was definitely compelled to wonder what's going on next. Like I said, they had a job to do that clearly got fucked up into a point that what are we going to do? We are screwed. And they even get you a little weekend at Bernie's to try to stall for time to try to figure out what their situation was going to be because they knew that they were going to die at the end of this. They were fucked. And they didn't even know where to go, what to do. They just knew that the best thing they could do is find a case, hop off on one exit and run because this kid is dead. And then not only can we not find the case, there's all this other shit going on the train. And I think they did a great job of balancing these storylines because that was Tangerine and Lemon. Now we got Ladybug who's coming back into the system, snatch and grab job. He has bad luck, or so what he perceives as bad luck. And then we get to see how his luck is not bad, is actually good for him going throughout this simple snatch and grab job. It's supposed to be so simple to kind of bring in new luck and new prosperity into his life. And then that's going on. You got the spoiled white devil child wants to kill her father because she didn't get enough attention. Mm-hmm. She pushing kids off roofs. Oh my God, this chick is horrible. Yeah. And then you have the father that's seeking revenge, even though he knows he's a shitty father. He's like, I'm going to do this to avenge my son. While the grandfather is like, what are you doing? Like you don't even know what you're doing, dude. It's like you're going up against John Wick's daughter or something. You know what I'm saying? This white devil guy is not.
The elder turns out to be a badass too.
Exactly. But at the same time, he didn't want that smoke. He's at the hospital tending to his grandson. Mm-hmm. But if they go be smoke, then he popping up because it's like, oh, okay, if this is what we doing, we go do it together. And I don't care how fast the train going, I'll be at the stop to get on before you get to your destination. I don't care how fast the train goes. That's how much resources he got. I need to beat the bullet train and get on it. Right. So when you hear the history that's involved in these two legendary sword fighters and how he killed his goddamn is deep. So he's revenging his wife. He go revenge his grandson and his master or sensei, however you want to categorize that. We have epic, climactic type of things coming to a head with each other. And it was all capsulated in this story on this train. And you felt bad for Brad Pitt because, dude, he was just picking up a shift.
I didn't feel bad for Brad Pitt. I mean, I felt like, because, again, have this titular character, he like we said, we go off to the premise of bad luck, and we see that everything that he goes through from the moment where he was talking about his bad luck and he was telling his handler, I'm bad luck, and he steps in the puddle and he steps back, almost dodges getting hit by the truck that's speeding down the street. I knew then, right. And this is sort of how sometimes we see foreshadowing. He talks about bad luck. We see something that is he sees that as bad luck that he has these canvas shoes on and he steps into this deep puddle so his feet get wet. But we see as an audience, him stepping into that puddle actually saved his life. So that's that foreshadowing. Even though he considers it to be bad luck, it was good luck. It was very serendipitous for him. And so that just shows.
That. Who teach you that word? Who teach you that word? I like this serendipitous. Cool. Yeah, well,
But so we know that even though he perceives things to be bad luck, he actually is a very lucky person. But we don't understand at that point in the movie how much his good luck is going to save him from all of these different things. So I mean,
here's the question I'm gonna ask you. Mm-hmm. Could we have not seen this with Zazie Beetz in a Domino show, in a Domino spinoff type of? Because her power is luck. They kind of hinted at it at Deadpool.
Yeah, and I
That
mean,
we had not seen something like this with her character.
I feel like it would have to be where you say a show, or are you talking about specifically?
A movie. This is Zazie Beats, man. You don't put her in Atlanta again. She's outgrown Atlanta. This is why they're in their last. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see where this is
I didn't
going.
say anything. I was just asking a question. You phrased it as you
Uh,
said a show, so I'm asking, did you mean a show or did you mean a movie? Because I feel like if it is going to be a movie,
Zazie Beats does
un,
no TV shows. She does the movies.
other than
She's
Atlanta,
well, she might do more. I
I'm
mean,
pretty
that's her
sure if,
prerogative.
if she might be cast. I think she is casted in it.
You know
Um,
what? The budgets that they're putting on TV shows is movie worthy now.
True. But to answer your question, I think it would probably have to be in some type of situation where it is like this, because I think that having a single character who has, like Domino has, the power of luck on her side, and not having other things that are happening around her besides just focused on her, I think that that can get a bit old pretty quickly, because we saw in Deadpool, she had her whole like just string of events when she was in Deadpool 2. Like everything that she was doing, she had like her
Mhm.
moment to kind of go through all of the luck that she was having when she was sort of in this fight. So that was her section of the movie dedicated to her. And then some other things that she did, like for example, when she was in the orphanage saving the kids, how her luck, of course, played into getting the kids out of the orphanage. So having it sprinkled throughout the movie is fine. I think having her as a titular character, like we have Ladybug, who of course doesn't is not necessarily centered around powers. He's just very lucky, and the things that are happening in favor for him are very coincidental, but they're in supplement to everything else that's happening on the train. So I think that having a movie dedicated to Domino, I think it would have to involve more than just her and more than just what she's going up against. Because just every situation that she gets into, just because her power is luck, she can get out of it. That doesn't warrant any stakes, because how do you combat somebody who's lucky? You know, and they even make the joke about it when they're going through the interview process in Deadpool 2. Like, oh, your power is luck. Like, how can we, how is that important? Like, how much can luck actually factor in to somebody actually getting out of a situation? And that's kind of what it is. Like, you can only do so much with that without having other characters kind of driving the story along. So I'm not saying that it couldn't work, but they would have to. It cannot be just her going up against a single antagonist, or just her going through some single events, because just getting out of every situation being lucky, that becomes old hat real quick.
Guess what?
But
I agree.
But so we've given our answer. We both think that Bullet Train is super. Let us know in the comments below. What did you think about Bullet Train? Do you think it's super? Do you have any gripes or complaints with it? What did you think about the movie?
Is it an A-list cast? Is it an A-list?
Let us know what you thought. Remember, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new videos come out. If you want to listen to the audio podcast, you can find us on your major podcast streaming services. And if you want to join in the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
Is Kevin Hart an A-list celebrity, Spider?
Yes, he is.
Okay. So you saying they wouldn't call up nobody else for the movie? I don't even want to do that. I'm not even going to say that name.
Ooh.
Cut the camera off.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. We really love and appreciate all the support. We'll see you all in the next episode.
The A-listers, man.